Hey, everybody, and welcome in. It's the Poor Man Fantasy Football League podcast. We're the fantasy football show that gives you a peek inside the life and times of our Dynasty League. I'm your host, Mike, and with me, as always, is my friend Andrew. And this week, on this wonderful Wednesday, June 25th, we're going to be doing something strange. And I'm calling it Miss Congeniality. Because this week, we're going to do a really early season bet. And
Well, we've already got two.
we do, but we're going to keep up with this trend.
Yes,
And
I suppose so.
And this one has an interesting format that Andrew came up with. And Andrew, why don't you tell listeners at home what you devised?
Well, you called it Miss Congeniality. I said finding the best number two.
Yeah. We're gonna leave the poop jokes.
Yes,
out of this
right
one.
there. No, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick a quarterback, two running backs, two wide receivers, and a tight end. And the first snap of game one, they cannot be the starting quarterback, the starting running back, wide receivers slotted as wide receiver one, or the starting tight end.
Because if they are,
well, we will accumulate all of their points throughout the season that they get per poor man scoring. But if they end up being the starter at the first snap, that guy gets 0 points for the whole year.
Yeah.
The big donut, Butkus.
And to give you guys an example, if you picked, say, I'll say Isaiah Likely as your tight end, because he would be the backup in theory to Mark Andrews. But let's say something happens to Mark Andrews. They do end up cutting him. They trade him, or he gets in another car accident and can't play week one. He's no longer the starter. Isaiah Likely becomes the starter, and you get 0 points for the season.
Yep. So you got to choose, but choose wisely.
Yeah. Which is going to be interesting for quarterbacks, and then running backs, because you might want like a David Montgomery as a backup to Jahmyr Gibbs, but there's a good chance that David Montgomery gets the first snap.
Yeah.
Oh, so it is.
It's on like Donkey Kong.
Oh, it is tough. I think I've got some cool possible selections choices, but there's other scenarios where I'm like, I'm not sure how this is gonna work out.
So this is where now you're hoping, if your guy is active, the starter actually goes out week one with an injury that ends his year.
Gives this guy a chance. Don't say such things. You take that back.
It's his year. Every other year he goes out with a devastating injury.
That was last year. They had the calf issues.
Oh, yeah.
The dual calf issues.
Yeah,
so this is the year that he bounces back.
I suppose.
Don't you put that voodoo on me, Ricky Bobby.
There we go. Was there any news this week?
Aaron Rodgers announced that he's officially going to retire after the season. This is his last season. Ooh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Swan Song. There we go. You know what? He's going to be John Cena, and he's going to ruin NFL for everybody.
Hey, that's at least is a good storyline. Oh,
it could be.
It could be. I'm sitting here looking at players and thinking, like, who could I pick? Like, who could be a dude that could rise up?
Rise up, rise up.
Love that song. Good song.
Well, I got lots.
Yeah, well, this is your idea. Of course, you had thoughts on this. You could.
I just did all that this evening while I was waiting on you.
Yeah, sorry. Last game of junior ball for my boy, and he was so excited to be a part of it. All right, well, okay. If you want to do this, how do you want to do this? Are we doing a draft? Are we spinning a wheel? Like what? How do you
I
want
don't
to
know. We've
determine order?
never really thought about it. If you want to do up a wheel real quick, we can do up a wheel real quick.
Okay, well then entertain our guests with a story.
About a man named Jed.
We did
About a
that once
man
already.
named Mike who bought a pool and put it together,
I did.
but didn't fill it full of water.
Not till tomorrow.
So his kids just pretend swim in the bottom of a pool, like Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. He learned how to
Hey,
swim on the floor.
hey, I could turn it into a ball pit.
Bazinga.
Bazinga. Yeah. All right. Okay, we're gonna go QB, QB, RB, RB. Oh, I guess I don't need to do that. Wide receiver, tight end, and then get rid of the rest of the stuff. All right. Randomize. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. All right. I'm going to share this screen. Bear with me as I pull this up. Share screen. Boop. Wheel picker. There we go.
Boom.
All right. So I've got all the positions that we're filling. And we'll just spin it. And then we'll each pick. And we'll alternate back and forth. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Right. So you pick first, then I'll pick based upon that position. And then we'll spin it again, and then I'll pick, and then you pick. And I think as the creator of this divine scheme, we'll give you first pick. You ready?
Come on, tight end. Come on,
you want to go tight end?
I want to get him over and done with.
Okay. Clickety clickety clack, and we're going wide receiver.
Okay, so wide receivers.
Hide that choice.
Well, the guy with the most points last year
as a
wide receiver, but he was on a new team this year. No, I'm going to have to go with a more proven. I'm going T. Higgins.
That's where I would have gone.
For the Cincinnati Bengals.
Wide receiver T. Higgins. I'm going Devonta Smith.
Oh, he wasn't even on my list.
Sleeper
report.
Soon, buddy, soon. All right, you ready? Here we go. Spin number 2. Where I'm going to get first choice. Come on. Is it going to be? It's going to be more wide receivers. Okay. It's a tough call.
I got 2 rookies on my list.
Do you?
Yes.
I have 0 rookies on my list.
I got 2 rookies for wide receiver. I got more rookies, but
I could see a scenario where you could add one particular rookie, but I'm sorting by points from last year, seeing like how did guys fare last year, and who is the best number 2 on their roster? Because I think there's some interesting choices, and I'll share those choices with you after we've made our selections of guys that I have been deliberating on. But I think I know who I'm going to take. Are you ready?
For sure.
Okay, I'm going to take Jameson Williams.
Oh, you son of a nutcracker. He was on my list.
Okay, well.
He was on my list.
Okay, who's your 2?
Oh. Do I go rookie? No, I'm going to go Addison.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Can I throw some other names out there for consideration now that
For
we've
sure.
we've kind of passed this
I
point?
had a list of what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I had a list of 7 in total.
Okay. Guys that jump off the page at me like right away based upon situation. George Pickens would have been on my list,
He was 3.
right? Okay, so like that's a guy new situation though, so you
Yeah.
don't know exactly how things are going to pan out. Um, I'm thinking Cleveland. Who is the wide receiver one? Is it Jerry Judy?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, and there was that other kid that Cedric Tillman,
Yeah, he had a good year
right?
last year. Yep.
You did. And then Darnell Mooney,
Okay.
right? He was a good number two behind Drake London when he was healthy and on the field.
Yep.
Like those are names that I really like. Tank Dell could be a sneaky pick if he actually rebounds.
I had somebody else on that team.
What their rookie that they
Yep.
drafted?
Yep.
Okay.
Jeremiah Higgins.
Okay. Which variable could be the case?
It's going to be him or Dell's going to be the, and I think Higgins will probably get more love.
Okay. Where do you put Xavier Worthy? Would you put him as the 2 and Rashee Rice as the 1?
I stayed away from there because it's so tough to tell who's going to be the number 1.
As of right now, because suspension could come.
Yep.
So as of right now, Xavier Worthy is listed as the wide receiver 2. Josh Downs
No.
instead of Michael Pittman.
Okay.
That was a guy that I liked. Jalen Waddle, if he had a bounce back season, to Tyreek. It's a dangerous pick, but those are guys that I think that were at the top of my head. And then if you think Chris Godwin comes back and Mike Evans remains the 1, then Chris Godwin could have a really good season with Baker if he's healthy, right?
True.
Coming back from his knee injury.
True.
And then what do you do in Green Bay? Is Jade Reed the 1? Who is the 1?
That's
is it Christian Watson?
That's another team I stayed away from because you never know.
You don't know
who's going to be the number 1 on that team. It's who's not going to get hurt in preseason.
Yeah, that's a big risk we're taking at this point.
Yeah.
These guys, someone could get injured and these guys get elevated.
Yeah.
All right. So we got our 2 wide receivers off the board.
The other couple of guys I had on my list. Again, he's in a new city. So it's his 4th or 5th team now, but Devontae Adams in LA.
Oh yeah, because Devontae Adams would be the second to Puka.
Yep. And then my last one, the last rookie, was Travion Harris for the Chargers, being second to McConkey. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I looked for when I started to do this, I went to who were the top point getters for wide receiver last year, and those were the teams I focused on because they obviously threw the ball a ton. I didn't want to focus on a team that ran the ball lots. So,
okay, that's fair. You want to target teams that were pass catching teams.
Yep.
All right. Now this is going to be an interesting spin. Let's see how it plays out for us.
So I get the pick first.
You do. Oh.
Okay.
I'm gonna need a minute.
So on my list, I have 5 guys.
5 guys already, hey?
Yeah.
That could be quality backups that could step up.
And I really cannot stand 3 of the 5. 4 of the 5. So right off the bat, I'm going to go Milrow from Seattle.
Oh, I gave you that answer yesterday. Jalen Milrow as a guy who probably will take over. Oh, that's dirty pool. Well, I don't know. I have a guy in mind. Do I trust that he's gonna?
Here's the big thing: you got to worry about him even getting playing time.
Yeah, well, I'm confident this guy's gonna take the job later. He's another rookie. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go Jackson Dart.
Wow. See, I didn't have a rookie on my list.
Yeah, Jalen
So,
Milroe is your rookie.
sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Um, the other ones that I had, and again, I don't like any of them. Kirk Cousins,
Yeah,
Denny Dimes,
really?
Mac Jones, because he's in a new place.
But he's backing up what, Brock Purdy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Zach Wilson of Miami.
Here's an interesting choice. Will Levis. Last year's starter, backing up behind Cam Ward, rookie first overall pick this year. Well, not first overall, but yeah, that's
Do you think though that they pivot back to him?
well, injury backup. I don't know.
I guess,
Things are
yeah.
going
An
like
injury, yeah. I think if he doesn't, if the starter doesn't produce, do they start looking for another quarterback early on in the year to throw onto the roster?
Oof. Yeah, there's not a lot to choose from. What would you do in New Orleans? Because they've got nobody. I'm looking at the depth chart now. They currently have Spencer Rattler is taking the majority of first team reps currently.
Yeah. He's supposed to be the starter, but
Taysom Hill.
I don't think he'll ever play quarterback though.
But he's dual qualified. He's tight end and quarterback. Yeah.
That's dirty pool. But what if you picked him and he was the starter week one as the tight end?
Doesn't matter. He's not the starting quarterback. You pick him as the quarterback, you pick him as the tight end. What do you do?
That's dirty pool, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Who is their tight end, by the way?
I think Taysom Hill is probably their.
Taysom Hill's listed as quarterback 3 on the depth chart.
Oh, who is their
tight end? He's not listed as a tight end.
Who is their tight end then?
Juwan Johnson is their starting tight end.
Oh.
And then Foster Moreau is their tight end too.
Interesting. See, he's an interesting player because he can go running back, he can go wide receiver, he can go tight end. And throughout the year, he plays probably every single one of those positions.
Yeah. Wow.
Interesting. Yep.
Okay, so we have tight end left and running back. Let's spin this wheel and see what we get. Okay.
There we go.
I wonder if I could be super cheeky here and take Jahmyr Gibbs in hopes that David Montgomery is the starter. Wouldn't that be something? I think I'd win the whole thing right from there.
Or you end up with 0.
I end up with 0 out of my running back position. Yeah, the tough part here is, dang. And we got to pick 2 of these guys.
Yeah, I've got a few to think are going to surprise some people. I got 7 on my list.
You got 7 already on your list. Okay.
Yeah.
It's dangerous. Man, this is tough. Because I'm looking at depth charts here of guys that could be the dude. Oh, man. So many tough choices.
There
are. Because you don't want to pick the guy that, in theory, is the starter. But there's situations where you got Caleb Johnson and Tyler. Is it Tyler Warren? In Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Where it's not like you don't have a clear number one.
Correct. I would say Warren's probably going to be the starter week 1, but
yeah. Dun 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 dun. But you want to pick a guy who actually has a chance of getting points. This is where playing the handcuff game comes in handy because you know who's a good handcuff and who is not.
And that's what I searched out when I was researching this one.
Yeah.
I just typed in handcuffs.
Okay, because I got 3 guys here that I'm toying with.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to go Rashad White.
Damn it. He was number 2 on my list.
Okay, well, Rashad White. Who are you picking?
Zach Charbonneau.
Oh, he was on my list. Yeah. Zach Charbonnet. All right, well, let's spin and see if we get tight end or running back.
Nice.
Tight end, your pick. You go first.
Okay. Oh, just give me half a second here.
You gotta weigh your options.
Well, I'm toying between 2 different guys here. And some noise.
Puppy dog love.
Sorta. You know what? I am going to, only because my second pick, I have a feeling my second pick is going to be the starter week 1. Because I believe he was the starter week 1 last year.
Okay.
I'm going to take Isaiah Likely.
You're going to take the risk on Isaiah Likely.
Yes.
Okay, Isaiah Likely. I'm going Cole Kmet.
Oh, that's a pretty good one. I didn't take Gray because Gray was the starter last year, week 1.
Really?
Kelsey didn't play until the second series of week 1.
Okay.
And I think Noah Gray, if he doesn't take the starting position this year away from Kelsey, he's going to get nothing because that means Kelsey's having a wicked year.
Okay. Isaiah Likely is a great pick. It's a high risk, high reward pick.
Yes, because week 1,
He could be the starter. He could be on the field.
I think they give week. So how do we? Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to come up with a little caveat here.
If he's on the field and he's the only tight end on the field on the first play,
okay,
he's tight end 1 and he gets you 0 points.
So if they go with a 2-man,
then he can be either or. Yeah, then he's cool. That's good.
So then we use poor man ranking as to who the because really you could have Montgomery and Gibbs play 1.
You could have them both on the field. I don't think they do that, but in theory, yeah, you could. You could pick both running backs and get one of them, or you take that gamble. Again, high risk, high reward play.
Yes.
All right.
So I guess you got first.
I'm gonna pick. I'm just gonna say, hey, look.
Oh, you took him, Mr. Mason.
I take Jordan Mason. That's who they traded a good draft pick to get him. He's behind Aaron Jones.
Yes.
And he's a good quality handcuff. So Rashad White, Jordan Mason, Zach Charbonnet was the other guy on my list because I know he does get worked in, but Kenneth Walker is the one. Now I'm curious to see who you pick.
Okay, I'm just crossing these guys off my list. So I was really, really intrigued, and I almost thought about going Blake Corum.
Really? Okay.
Because if Kyrie Williams goes down,
Next man up.
Blake Corum is going to take the ball and not give it up. He was that stubborn in Michigan that I think if he gets the opportunity, he is going to ball out, and he won't. It's going to be like Bucky Irving. When I got the ball, you're not taking it back from me. But my fear is Blake Corum only got 30 points last year all year.
Mm-hmm.
So he might not see the field enough to actually get any points. I'm going out on a limb, and I thought about taking Jalen Wright in Miami, the backup,
Okay.
the backup to
Devon.
HN.
Yeah.
Yep. But I'm going with a rookie, Tootin from the Jags.
Bayshell Tootin.
He won't be the starter week 1.
No, that should be either Bigsby or ETN.
It'll be ETN. But I think Tootin will be pushing. What I read earlier today was the Jags are not real happy with ETN. It's the last year of his contract. This Tootin is his first year of his contract, so they might say, "Here you go, show us what you can do."
We drafted
and we will
Tootin. We
and
didn't draft you.
We will kick ETN out at the end of the year, and it's yours for the next 4 years, 5 years. Show us what you can do, boy.
Wow. Okay, I did think of that one because like Bigsby could have also have been
Yes.
an option.
Yes.
I'm gonna throw some other names out at you. Do you pick Najee Harris? Do you think Najee Harris is the backup to a Marion Hampton, or do you think he's the starter?
That's going to be a tough battle in camp for the starting role.
Yeah, because at this point, I don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's one for you.
Yep.
Grendo in San Francisco, backing up CMC.
That's a good backup. Yeah, he could be the dude right away for CMC. Yeah. I'll throw one back at you. Ramondre Stevenson backing up Trey Henderson.
That's a good one too. I think that was a low ceiling, but it's also a low floor too, because he's going to be consistent. He'll get you points. But
Tyler Algier for Bijan Robinson.
He was, when I looked at the handcuffs, I think he was the number 2 handcuff.
Yeah, because I think he's a quality handcuff. I don't think he's going to get worked in a lot normally. I think Bijan will get the bulk of the work, but
Bijan will have to get hurt for him to get anything significant.
Mm-hmm. And is Kareem Hunt still kicking around out there?
He is
in Kansas City.
You've also got Chubb, who could be the backup.
What's Joe Mixon?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Like Chubb could get you a ton of touchdowns.
Like, yeah, there's some interesting options. It's just, what do you believe and what are you comfortable with?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I think this might be the lowest scoring one we have, but I think this is going to be one of the most interesting ones.
Yeah.
Especially if everybody activates.
You don't know. These guys will score points. They will. We just don't know how much. And we're kind of betting on a bad thing happening in the chance that these guys get more playing time due to an injury.
Yes, but it'll be interesting to see, like Jackson Dart, right? He will get some playing time at some point in time in the season. Is it mop-up work where he's only going to get, 30, 40, 50 yards to clean up the fourth quarter? Or halfway through the year, do they say, we're going to take a chance and throw him in?
Over. Let's get this kid out there. Get him some reps.
Yeah.
But he's got to compete against Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson.
Yeah. And he's third on the depth chart?
Yeah, actually, he's number 2. He's listed as number
Oh,
2 as of right now, but that's just like OTAs.
yeah.
So like to me, what I wanted to do is I wanted to take a shot on a rookie who has a chance of getting the job, as opposed to picking a guy who you're waiting for an injury for him to get in and get playing time.
Yeah.
Like I like Gardner Minshew backing up Geno Smith.
Yes.
Right?
You know he's not going to play. It's same thing with in Cleveland, old man Flacco.
Yeah, again, that's a muddy waters. Like you could hit it big if Joe Flacco's not the starter and it is one of the other guys they drafted, or Kenny Pickett. Like, what do you do there? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's muddy.
Yep.
Cool. Well, anything else you want to chat about, or do we call this a night?
You know, is there anything else?
I can't think of anything
I
else.
can't really think of anything
We're getting
else.
close to the summer months here. Vacation's around the corner. I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks.
Yep.
Next week will be my last availability to record before going on vacation.
And weren't we going to do a division next week?
Doing the division next week? Hang on, everybody. Let me pull up our...
I thought we were going to do a division, then take 2 weeks off, and then do the next 7 divisions.
Do. Bear with me. I'm still pulling it up. Computer's running slow. Like name a running back who runs slow.
Jerome Bettis.
Yeah, but he runs with power. That's you can't.
He runs like Bo Jackson. Did you see that clip I sent you this morning?
Yes, you did. Where Buzz like, no blockers. I don't want nobody blocking. And for a second, I'm thinking like he doesn't want to block. Is that what he's talking about? He doesn't want to block. And then as the video goes on, oh no, he doesn't want anyone to block for him because he wants to hit and run over people. I got you.
And he cleaned that guy's clock.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Sorry, Denver fans.
Oh man, that was a cool video. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna take some time tonight. I'm gonna post all the schedule up in the group chat, guys, so you can see when we're going to be doing the divisional breakdowns. We do have it slated to start with the AFC South next week. We'll see what that looks like. Worst case scenario, we start it next week and then to start spacing it out nicely so that everybody gets an opportunity to try and jump in. I'm not going to have the flexibility like as in previous years to move things around too much. I'm just going to say, hey, here's the dates, here's the times, who wants in, and let you guys pick and choose what you want to do. Try to keep it simple. All right. Well, Andrew, thank you very much for coming up with this very creative bet. You definitely have a knack for this. All right.
I try to be creative.
You try to be. It's fun. Like it's fun to do, to think about and consider the possibilities, and then wait and see. Now we got to wait all the way to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
To find out how does this pay off.
Oh, geez, you know what we should pick one of these weeks?
What's that?
Oh, we should do one where we each pick a team of players that we figure are going to make the playoffs, and then it's just playoff points.
Just playoff points?
Yes.
So you say I picked the Eagles?
No. No, you would pick Jalen Hurts. And then for all the games he plays in the playoffs, you get those points.
Right.
So if you pick Jalen Hurts and they don't make the playoffs, you get
nothing.
You get nothing.
But if you pick a team that actually goes to the Super Bowl,
well, you're not picking a team. You got to.
Well, but if you're picking a player that's on a team that goes to the Super Bowl, you're now accumulating all those rounds, especially if you get the wild card round.
Yeah, like if you were to pick, say you pick Kelsey and Mahomes, and they go to the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, that's a lot of rounds of points.
Yeah, and you hope they get the wild card too.
So they got to.
That's another good bet. Yeah, we got to do that at some point. We got to do that.
Okay, well, you write it down. Don't lose it.
Maybe we'll
incorporate that.
Maybe we'll do it halfway through the season, at the halfway mark. This way, we got an idea of who will probably make the playoffs and who probably won't. Like the Jets. I probably won't take Breece Hall.
Anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's another good one.
All right, cool. Well, everybody, thank you very much for listening and joining in. Watch for the group chat, post out, see who is who's interested in coming out and doing the divisional breakdowns. That's it for us this week. From one poor man to another. Remember, if it's not fun, it's not worth doing. Good night, everybody.
Have a great week, everybody.